Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. My name is Sarah. Wait, why is my screen blurry? Is my screen blurry to y'all? Woo! What is going on? Doo-doo-doo. Why do I seem blurry? That's going to drive me nuts. It's not my contact. Let me clean the screen. I know everything's fine there, but let's just take a looky. Okay, I don't know. Seems a little blurry to me on YouTube. Okay, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis Live. Hello, everybody. Okay, on YouTube, my Instagram looks fine. Shout out everybody on Instagram. No, you're not blurry there. You're on my camera, my phone. I'm on my iPad on TikTok, but on YouTube, it is my give me a second, YouTube. Give me a second, YouTube. Okay, I have no idea. Okay, start camera. Okay, much better. Don't you love technology? Okay, it was driving me nuts to see it all blurry. So, okay, we are all back now. I hope you're having an amazing Tuesday. It is warming up here, and I wore this freaking hot sweatshirt all day, and I've got sweatpants on. So, whoo, I thought it was going to be colder than I thought. I spent a couple of hours with a fellow Houston podcaster. I say podcaster, but she's way more than that. She's done a lot of stuff. She's produced podcasts. She has her own podcast now with her dad of like 5 years. She worked on the Jerry Springer show. I was like, had so many questions about that because y'all know I love me some trash TV. And of course, my husband already watched the Jerry Springer documentary that came out. Anyways, but we met at a podcast event last week in Houston, and she was one of the panelists. And, I love someone that has the balls to reach out and be like, hey, let's go grab coffee one day. We made a date. If y'all don't know anything about me, I am a yes girl. So ask me to do most anything fun, and I'm going to say yes. So we met, had a 2-hour. She had a pretty little purple weird coffee that was so pretty, a latte, I guess. And I had a hibiscus tea that I added raspberry to. So anyways, I felt like we could have chatted forever. Lincoln the Golden, good question. It does. Lincoln the Golden's asking does StreamYard not allow you to stream to multiple platforms at one time? Yeah, but it's not TikTok. It's not, it's weird stuff like streaming games and stuff. It's all the weird apps that I don't give a shit about streaming to. LinkedIn, whatever. So I only use it right now for YouTube because it keeps saying that my Facebook page got disconnected, which I've done nothing to disconnect my Facebook page. So anyways, Tiffany Chump, you're so funny. Tiffany Chump likes, let's go to Chumpcon, Sarah. You got to say yes, LOL. That's a big fat no. Oh my gosh. I don't want the cooler weather. Dee's like, hang tight. I'm a wimp. By the way, Dee, my Houston area chumpette, did you see that I added another Houston area meetup this Saturday at the same coffee shop that we met at last time? So I hope you can join us. Anyone in the Houston area, make sure you join the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. I did add an event in there for us to get together. It is so fun to meet up in person, I promise you. So I hope you can come. I do not like the cold weather at all. Wait, there's the measles in Texas? I mean, Texas is huge. Is 58 cases a lot? I have no idea. Do people not have their vaccination? Oh, darn, Dee. Oh, well, we'll meet another time. Anyways, okay, let's get into a little bit of it. Today is going to be some Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 1. And then, of course, today's Jeff Lewis Live, which I've got thoughts, but I need y'all to clear something up for me. I need y'all to clear something up for me about something Crystal said. And then I need your thoughts on something that Michael Beck shared with us at the end of the second hour that I think reminds me, rewind to my experience with Jeff Lewis and also Jenny Pulo. So we will definitely be chatting about that. I want your comments. So get ready. Don't just join. Make sure you are typing along with us in the comments. Okay, Kim and Kroy finally sold their dang house that hasn't been updated since they bought it in 2012. They paid less than $900,000 for the house. I don't know if they updated it since then or if it doesn't look all that updated if you see the pictures. And plus, they had 6 children running amok in that house. So, and dogs and what have you. But anyways, they did sell it recently, I think December, for $2.75 million. So hopefully there's some profit there for them to get along for a little ways. I have no idea what they are doing for money, like income. I mean, everyone says that Kroy, he retired from football. No, not everyone that retires from football has a lot of money. And also, he is adamant that she has a alcohol problem, a gambling problem, a shopping problem. So I don't even know. Yeah, they bought it for just under $900,000, Tracy. And Tracy agrees. It is not cute inside. It's it's worth way more than 2.75 probably if they would have updated it. And instead it looks, anyone spending, don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's a beautiful house for most people. But anyone that has almost $3 million to spend on a home in Atlanta, this isn't Beverly Hills. Atlanta, I would assume you can get a little bit more for your house. It's not updated. You know what I mean? So anyways, good luck to them, right? Yes, lots of it. Doesn't it just look very, I would argue to say it doesn't even look 2012. We bought this particular house in 2005, and even in 2012, it looked, better than that. I don't know. Yeah, Mary McFadden says Kroy was only paid $2 million when he played. He was not a great player. And I don't think he played very much, right? Ah! Tiffany Chump says the red Solo cup problem. Yeah, it's what is in her red Solo cup, right? They apparently both have rental homes really near their other house. They probably need to keep their 4 youngish kids in the same private school. How they're paying for that, I do not know. So I'm not opposed to Kim coming back on TV, though. I'm really not. I want to see her freaking hot mess. If nothing else, her and her daughters and her 4 younger children are very big personalities. They've done reality TV. Don't forget, after Real Housewives of Atlanta, they did Tardy for the Party. They did the wedding special. I mean, they know how to show all the garbage in their lives, and they're willing to do that. So that's what we need. A lot of people have drama in their life, but it's not worth it for them to put it all out there for what little reality TV can pay. And the big price that you pay on social media and in real life. I mean, things like that. You know what I mean? Ghetto. Krista, Kim has such ghetto taste. Okay, let's not say ghetto. When is that show coming out? Mary McFadden says the oldest daughter, there's Brielle and Ariana, right? Am I saying their names right? Ariana or Ariel? No, Brielle and Ariana. Brielle's the oldest one. Brielle is the one on that new Bravo show about kids that like Gio Judice was on. Brooks Marks is on. I don't really know anyone. Has that show, did I already miss it? Did it come and go and I missed it? Oopsie. Okay. Andy Cohen was right. I know he has an email address. Andy is wrong at SiriusXM.com. He got it right. He oftentimes has been hyping up the reunions, or he was hyping up definitely the reunion about Vanderpump Rules in the last season of Vanderpump Rules. I thought it was kind of a hard pass. He was not wrong on this, though. Real Housewives of Potomac, the reunion part 1 aired Sunday. I finally had time to watch it last night. You can absolutely watch this reunion without having watched any of the past seasons or even season 9. That is it is about. I haven't watched it for quite a while. I watched it in the beginning. I'd never even heard of Potomac. I didn't know about this fancy area outside of DC. I've never visited outside of DC just yet. I didn't know the name. I didn't know the richness that lives there. So it was very fascinating for me to see another part of our country that is known for, lots of wealthy areas because lots of wealthy areas. But I kind of died out after like Michael and Ashley I just thought he was gross. I thought when she had the kids with him, I was like, ugh, she should have gotten out before she had kids with him. I don't know. It just wasn't vibing. I didn't love Karen Huger. I think she's super into herself, and I really can't find a reason. Besides physically, she hurts my eyes to look at her. Her attitude and her ego just really disgust me. And I'll be honest, and it way more disgusts me after the way I had heard that she was, lying and acting like, oh, it wasn't that bad, the DUI, da da da. And then we get the police footage that comes out. It was awful. Do you know who I am? I'm famous. Oh, Andy Cohen gave me my nickname. Oh, maybe I should have taken a cab. It was disgusting. So, Real Housewives of Potomac opens up their showing. So on December 20th, 2024 was the hours after Karen was found guilty. 7 of the 8 things that she was charged with, she was found guilty. I don't know which one that they let her off on, but it was probably just a technicality. But she's interviewed and she basically says, I'm not an alcoholic. I won't be at the reunion. I'm going to check myself into a place. So she filmed that on December 20th. But I don't think she checked herself in until the morning they filmed the reunion on January 9th, 2025. So nobody knew. Everyone, I'm sure, was just leaving her alone. Don't forget, this DUI happened in March of 2024. So it kind of went to trial very quickly. I mean, by December, she was already found guilty. At this point, has she still? I don't think we still know what she's gonna do. We still know what's it called? You go to trial, then you found guilty or whatever, and then you go and have your what's the word? You have the punishment phase, whatever that's called, right? I don't think we know if she's going to prison. I don't think we know what's happening with her, do we? That can obviously take a while because of the court system and what have you. So anyways, all the people show up and they're like, where's Karen? Like, we don't see a dressing room for her. Like, she's not the sentencing. Thank you, Pootie Cap. Where's Karen Huger? And they're like, we haven't talked to her since Christmas. So that was a little bit after that she had recorded and been found guilty. Karen also mentions by name, mostly Janelle. Woo! I've got Sister Wives on my brain. I've been watching too much Sarah Fraser videos, right? Love the Sarah Fraser show. Giselle, she really says, hey, Giselle's been a really good friend. You've been reaching out to me, all these things. And she also gives like credit to Andy Cohen for calling her. And Andy's like, I mean, it's like probably the obligatory, like, I feel like I have to reach out to you. You know what I mean? I don't know. Oh, yes. LTD says she held off sentencing. So by going to rehab. No, I don't think she held that off because I don't think she has any control over the court thing. I think that made it look better for her sentencing, they were saying, which is everything everyone's thinking. The fact that a couple of them said it out loud, maybe Wendy said it out loud, but they were all like, kind of like, oh, and I'm like, oh, you're all thinking it. She's been a hag for years. It's not like she's been a good person. Karen Huger has always been an egotistical hag. Like, she's not nice to anyone. She thinks her shit doesn't stink. And I'm like, girlfriend, like, you don't impress me at all. And especially when she has the ego on top of it, like, you're definitely stepping down a few notches in my book. I mean, much less you need to get rid of that thing on your face. Like, ugh. Yes. Tiffany Chump says that Karen Huger's trying to get a better sentence. She should have went before, but she was in denial. And that's what I think even Ashley says, is she should have went when when it happened. But no, she was like, I'm not an alcoholic. You know what I mean? I love y'all so much. Oh my God. Jordy says she's definitely crusty, like the old lady living in the shoe. And then she's all like, oh, I'm just thinking of my children. First of all, your children are grown-ass humans, like, you should have thought about them before, should have thought about yourself. Your friends have let us know this is not the first time that you have gotten drunk and gotten behind a car. Like, a lot of people have noticed that you have an issue. So this isn't the first time, so stop with all of that crap. We shouldn't mention anything about her husband, who she claims is like Mr. Perfect, right? Whatever. Okay, let's talk their outfits. It seemed like there's always a theme at the reunions, okay? Like orange and pink or silvers and golds, colors of purples. This one it looked like the same brand maybe dressed all of them. Like 2 or 3 of them had the same like pokey what's the girl? Like I said, I don't know all of their names. If TikTok goes away, they're giving me some violation, whatever. Just come over to YouTube. They'll take it back. They'll give it back to me. Anyways, who's the black Bill Gates? Oh, is that what she calls her husband? Does she really? Oh my gosh. Well, Bravo and Stoned. Let's bring up the Shannon Bedore of it all. Bravo and Stone says, reminds me of when Shannon hit a house. But how much shit did Shannon Bedore get for that? And yet when we learned all the facts about it and saw the video of that, to me, Karen Huger was way more drunk. I don't remember what their numbers were, if they even ever came out, the 0.25s, the 0.08s, all that kind of stuff, the legal alcohol system stuff. But her attitude, I mean, she was so grotesque. And I know she was drunk. I know we all say and do things maybe when we're drunk, but don't they always say a drunk brain is a sober person's words or something like that? Like she definitely thinks her shit doesn't stink. You know what I mean? Tiffany Chump says, I love that they coordinate their colors. I hate it when everybody's wearing a bunch of random colors like on Beverly Hills, but they all looked so uncomfortable. I mean, uncomfortable is they each had 2 or 3 people walking with them to help them. The dresses look like they weighed 70 pounds, which they could have. Some of these gowns weigh a lot. One of them was pushing into the boob so much. Was that Wendy's boob? No, Wendy's was shoved all up to her face. I admit, I don't know all their names. I can't remember them. There's a couple of new girls since I watched. I can't keep up with it all. Some of the boobs looked very good. Some of the dresses looked very good. It was appropriate. And it's not about being overly booby or underly booby. It's a matter of knowing that you are going to be sitting on a couch. That dress needs to look great sitting on a reunion couch for hours. It doesn't need to look so great standing. I mean, it does, but it's standing up. Like you're sitting down. I felt like their boobs were, like one of them was like up to the nipples were starting right here. Like, it's like she must have looked down and saw nip, and they weren't that great looking. You can tell they're either all fake. I mean, it was just like, there just wasn't any cleavage. It was just like, it's like a uniboob just went. Y'all remember those bathing suits? I'm going to age myself a little bit. I'm almost 52. Remember the body, what was that brand? Body Glove bathing suits, where it was like one big sports bra. And then it was almost like what the surfers wore, like the very athletic looking bikini. And it was like a uniboob. I mean, these dresses just did nothing for their boobs. Some of them looked really good. I think Giselle looked really good. I think Ashley looked good. Is it Lizzie? The one that kind of came on and Andy pretty much said, you're a whore, that girl. Oh my gosh. They were just so obnoxiously tight. It looked like they couldn't fit. Somebody DM'd me last night and said, well, I think they forget that their mic packs have to fit. So I get it. I mean, we see with the reality TV, we see the mic packs that are like either in their bra or tucked into their shirt or their dress, whatever. But at this point, everyone getting dressed for a reunion knows to tell the stylist about the mic pack, or the stylist already knows, hey, we're going to have a mic pack. How big is it? Is it going to go at your waist? Is it going to go at your bra line? Like, where's it going to go? So they should be accounting for that. I don't know. Did y'all like them or not? Whose wig was crooked? Who does she call her? Hold on, I'm different. I already read that. Her husband is no Bill Gates, Krista says. Oh, thank you, Dory. She probably called her attorney, huh? Dory Jr. says Karen refused to take a breathalyzer test, so she has no blood alcohol. BAC, the whatever that thing is, the breath analyzer. What's it called? Well, Hamilton, I talked about this a lot. Let's talk about this real quick. Hamilton says, I don't understand why anyone wouldn't take an Uber or a Lyft when it's so readily available. So it's hard for me to understand that more when you're a celebrity, more when you are maybe going to events that people are going to know, oh, you are Karen Uber and you were getting drunk and now you're going driving in your car. Like it's not different. Trust me. Humans are all the same. We all need to protect other innocent people on the streets, right? From other people driving drunk. But I feel like a lot of this is underlined that once someone gets drunk, gets past the limit of making a good decision, they're not thinking about the Uber or the Lyft. They're probably thinking, I'm fine, I'm okay. I don't know if Karen, whatever this event was, I think she said she was leaving some friends' houses, right? Which makes me think, did the friends know that she was this drunk? Like how, where's the liability there? Not that anyone's to blame. I am the first person to say people need to take responsibility for them damn selves. I just feel like we chatted about this a lot when Shannon Bedore had her DUI. I felt like I was the only one defending her. And I don't mean defending her in drunk driving because if you know me, my dad's cousin passed away in a car wreck when I was like in third grade. He didn't have a seatbelt on. There was no drinking involved, but immediately, it wasn't even a law in Texas. And I told my mom and dad, I am going to start wearing my seatbelt. Like, I don't ever want this to happen. If I can do something to prevent this. A few years later, when I was like in junior high, a friend of mine's mom, and then we're coming home from the mall and a drunk driver hit them, killed the mom and injured some of the other people in the car. And obviously the drunk driver. But I mean, I've just always had a huge stance on not drinking and driving. So I say that to say, I do understand that some people just get to a point and they make a horrible decision. Or it becomes, oh, I don't want to leave my car. I need my car in the morning. I'll be fine. So I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying those are some of the reasons I think people don't plan on an Uber or a Lyft driver or having someone drive them. LTD said Shannon Bedore took accountability and this was Karen's second DUI. Exactly. And nobody talked about that. Everyone just kind of brushed it under the rug as if she needs to be treated differently. I felt like Shannon had her ass handed to her on a silver platter. It was very different. Right. Tiffany Jump is like Wendy's one tit. It was only one. Her one tit was in her forehead. And didn't it look like it was just like, I just wanted to take the dress and like pull it out a hair. Like whoever was looking at that, why didn't somebody say, let's just fix this? Like that's got to be, she had to have the biggest red mark on her body after all those hours. And then Giselle, the opposite. I mean, I get it, but her like pancake titty was like all flopped down and the other one was a little bit lifted. I'm like, no. We don't need two pancakes, but we also don't need one lifted and then one pancake. Like these dresses, I think Ashley looked the best. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I think Ashley looked the best. I don't know. I think she's had the biggest glow up too. Yeah, Heather Chessman says she was not the grand dame. She was the gross drunk. Yeah, and what do y'all think about her saying like, I'm not coming back next season as the grand dame. I'm just going to be Karen. I'm like, you've always just been Karen. Like, I don't care that Giselle gave you that nickname. You're nothing different. Yes, Michelle says, my husband specializes in a traffic unit, emphasizing on DUI enforcement. I just have no forgiveness when people make that decision. You affect so many people's lives. Have a game plan before you drink. And the problem is, I think she does have an issue. I think drinking socially is one thing, but if the fact is you've gotten caught 2 times drinking and driving, means you've probably done it 17 times. You know what I mean? Amen, sister. The more weight I gain, I understand. I had the best, cutest little titties before I gave birth and breastfed 5 kids. Tiffany Chump says tits are difficult. I mean, I feel it. You got beautiful boobies. Let's be clear on that. Yeah, allegedly maybe, and that this plays into it, right? Because I mean, if she does have money, like she acts like she does, allegedly maybe says, especially when you have the money for an Uber, you have the money to Uber or get a friend or whatever to drive you to get your car the next day. Like she could, but plan ahead. Like Jeff, he says, I don't even take an Uber. Like I know if I'm going to have a drink, I just Uber there and Uber home. First of all, it might be a write-off. I'm not even sure. You know what I mean? I agree. Bridget Goggins says, Karen will be lucky if she's invited to return after all those horrific videos and her sentence. She's up for 2 years in jail, I think. Oh, yeah, the way she was just acting like, oh, it's no big deal. Of course, I'll be back. I was just like, ugh. Ugh. True. Getting a DUI costs a lot of money. Jordy says, bottom line, you can take a taxi to Alaska and back, and it would be cheaper than a DUI in the long run. And did y'all hear she just now fired her attorney and got a different one. So thank you, Heather. Remind everybody to hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I forgot to put this ticker on. There we go. There's the ticker. Yeah. True. Tiffany Chump says, oh, Bravo loves criminals. LOL. She'll be back. This is true. Oh, it's the 27th of this month. Wow. Less than 10. Is that 8 days? I can't do it. Oh, she vomited? Wait, what? Debbie says, I saw the video of Karen Huger so drunk with vomit all over her old Gucci purse. Ugh. Yeah, that's a good idea. I hate driving at night lately, too. Cecily says, I don't drive at night. Uber is my go-to. I mean, I will drive because I'm safe about it, but I prefer driving during the daytime for sure. Okay, let's continue on. Wendy was very incentivizing, is very incentivizing. She is making it very worthwhile for her kids to do things that she wants them to do as adults in order to get the money that she and her husband are going to leave to them. I'm not opposed to this. And Andy Cohen was definitely not opposed. He's like, dang, I need to be doing this. I'm like, Andy, your kids are only 6 and 3. There's still time. Like, basically they show a clip of Wendy talking to her kids about, if you get your master's degree, you'll get this amount of money. If you learn our native language, you will get this sort of money. If my daughter joins my sorority that I was in, they'll get this amount of money. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like bribery, but at the end of the day, if you've ever been a parent and you're not bribing them as either kids or adults, I mean, what are we doing here? Like, seriously, you know what I mean? Yeah, I thought it was cute. Kay Kitty said, I agree that Karen Huger needs jail time to learn a lesson. She's not above the law. Can you imagine Karen Huger in jail? I mean, that's almost better than Jen Shaw. That's better than Teresa. Man, who else has been in jail? Let's think about Bravo celebrities, like jail, like away, as Teresa Giudice would say about her husband. Is that it? Am I missing someone? Like actually gone to jail. Oh, she'll write a book. Yes, Hamilton says bribery and the fear of God always works with kids. Amen, sister. Oh, Martha Stewart, but she wasn't Bravo. But yeah, that's a good documentary if you haven't watched that. Okay, Mia is very messy. They show some proof. I love when Andy Cohen grabs a phone and starts reading some text. I love it, love it, love it. Basically, she's going through a divorce. I mean, who's not going through a divorce on that dang show right now? It feels like she's going through a divorce with Gordon. We've seen a lot of like them taking the kids on vacation. Are they together? Are they not? What have you? Apparently, she had a birthday party in Miami, invited only a couple of the girls. And then when they flew down to Miami, she ghosted them. She didn't really give an excuse. She just said, look, I'm not being a good friend right now. I don't have the capacity to be a good friend. It was interesting. Leah, I can't even read that. Lisa says, I walk and try not to pee on myself when I drink 2 or 3 beers at home. Oh my gosh. Wait. What? Jet says, speaking of Wendy Williams, drinking, did you see the report from Daily Mail that the real reason Wendy Williams is locked up is just alcoholism, not dementia, trying to keep her sober? Yeah, but that didn't happen recently. So if you read that, I saw it on TMZ because I trust TMZ a lot more than Daily Mail. If you read the article, it's saying that at one point she was on a certain level, which had more freedom, and she could get to the elevator. She apparently got drunk in the restaurant, and they took that opportunity, that option away from her to like just go around freely so she wouldn't get drunk in the thing again. But I'm like, why do we have alcohol at a memory facility? Like, why are we doing that? Like, keep that in your room. Like, I don't even understand. Yeah. Yes, I do think Lincoln, I mean, if you watch the documentaries, Lincoln the Golden says Wendy Williams' alcoholism brought about the dementia. So she has a specific kind of dementia that's like, I'm going to say this wrong, but say alcohol-induced dementia or something like that. So anyways, a lot going on there. Anyways, no real apology from Mia. I mean, the episode 1 or part 1 leaves. She's like sobbing at the very end going, I got to get out of here. I can't do this. I'm hoping she comes back because we have parts 2 and 3 still to watch. I'm telling you though, it is worth it. Even if you didn't watch, if you've never watched it, it is a good reunion. Like Andy Cohen often overhypes things up. I don't feel like he overhyped this one up. Lisa, I'm dying. Lisa says, I meant not trying to pee in my granny panties as I'm rushing to the bathroom. I'm loving that design. Yes, Phaedra's husband went to jail. Oh, wet brain. Oh, Heather says, we used to call it wet brain in long-term care. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, let's chat Jeff Lewis live today because I've got some things on my brain. Okay, Crystal Minkoff and Cynthia Bailey were on the first hour. We know they have become fast friends because they host a Humble Brag podcast together. They talk about coconut water. She finally brings her coconut water for everyone to try, and everybody's like, not really my thing. If you've never had coconut water, my mom got into coconut water when she was going through her cancer treatments because her oncologist recommended it to her. My mom also was super into all the trends, but my mother had been buying Ozarka bottled water, I mean, since the 90s. I mean, I can't even tell you how long my mom has always had those jugs. My mom always loved bottled water. She never liked our tap water at the house I grew up in or the house that she built in 2006, right near my house. It was finished in 2006, I should say. Anyways, so my mom loved the taste of coconut water. So clearly it's an acquired taste. Even Crystal Minkoff admits it's really not for everyone. I don't think Kian liked it. I don't think Shane liked it. I don't think Michael Beck liked it. Jeff didn't like it. I mean, I don't think anyone liked it. I don't know. But then they get started talking about Teddi. And this is when I want to make sure of what y'all thought what y'all thought Crystal Minkoff meant. So they're talking about Teddi and the brain surgery that she just went through, how she's in the hospital. Jeff reached out to Tamra Judge yesterday and had a long conversation with her, said that she's filming and she's driving back and forth from OC to LA to hang out with her. As y'all know, Tamra has me blocked, so I can't prove any of this because I can't see any of her Instagram stories. But he said that Teddi is really enjoying visitors and it's making her happy. So Jeff talks about like going to meet her and going to visit her because her hotel is right near his hospital, is right near, where he lives and all that. I don't love that Crystal had to let us know that her best friends are Teddi Mellencamp's best friends and that they're upset with her. I felt like she was about to say, she did say they're upset. So I don't know if she meant, so let me know what you thought from this. I went back and listened to it again to just try to understand it. And I think Crystal is messy. I think she does love the girl drama of it all. That's why I think she wanted us to know, oh, my best friends are Teddi Mellencamp's best friends. Like, we've never heard her talk about Teddi Mellencamp before. I've never heard Cynthia Bailey talk about her being close to Teddi. Just because you're all Bravo celebrities and somebody is going through something so tragic as brain tumor surgeries and whatever else she's going to have to go through after this, and the divorce that she's going through, and has 3 young children, doesn't mean that everyone needs to go visit her. Like, I don't feel like Jeff needs to go knocking on the hospital door, even with Tamara. Like, he's had Teddi on his podcast a few times. He's been on 2 T's in a Pod, but they're not like besties for the resties. I think visiting someone in the hospital is a very intimate thing. Like, not everyone goes to visit everyone that they know that's going through something in the hospital. And I don't feel like some of them really need to actually go to the hospital and then make a day of it and then like go out and have drinks. Okay, but when she was saying that, someone let me know in comments, was she trying to spill the tea that her mutual besties with Teddi Mellencamp are upset that Teddi Mellencamp ignored the headaches and everything that they were talking about for weeks? Because if so, I just don't think she needed to say that. I feel like it's like blaming. I think a lot of us are questioning. We were talking last week when this all came out. I wonder if she was getting a PET scan. I wonder if the doctors were checking everything. We wonder if this is something that normally happens whenever you have melanoma, because we know that she's been fighting melanoma for years on her shoulders and her back. Was this something that could have happened? Like, how did the doctors not catch this? So that obviously they were talking about pre-nuvo. Oh, she said it on her podcast too. Whooper said she said that on her podcast too. I agree, Sarah. Didn't it just seem icky? It just seemed icky. Like, of all times to let us know that you share best friends with Teddi Mellencamp, it's only because she's going through something so horrific in the hospital. And then I swear it sounds to me like she was trying to say, that her friends were upset with her. And I'm like, okay, we don't need to hear that on the Jeff Lewis live show. Like, that's not for you to let everyone know. True. Bridget says, we don't even know if the tumors are melanoma related. I don't think. We don't know any of that. I don't know if the doctors know. I have no idea. This is all, every cancer can be very specific to certain people. Some cancers can, if you have this cancer start out in this organ, it can generally spread to this organ, but we don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Jet says, I think visiting the hospital is super personal. Like, I wouldn't really want to see anyone to see me there. And some people do, but I think you want to see your closest of close friends. So Morgan Wade, like, was she there because she's also super close with Teddi? Or is it because, Teddi is staying with Kyle through her divorce separation? On the days, aren't she and Edwin doing the whole switch off where they're keeping the kids at the same house and Edwin goes somewhere and then Teddi is going to stay with Kyle whenever it's her time away from her kids, right? I feel like they've said that's how they're handling it. I don't know. Yeah, Debbie's like, I thought that was such a high school girl statement. Oh, my girlfriends are Teddi's girlfriends. Yeah, and then it wasn't just girl. It's like, my best friends are Teddi Mellencamp's best friends. Yeah, very interesting. I don't know. That's just how I read it for sure. Lots of butt stuff calls, the ERs, the ray techs, the x-ray techs. I guess, how did it even start? Because I feel like it bled over into the second hour. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. All of a sudden, it was like every call was like some doctor, some x-ray tech, some nurse in the ER. And like, this guy put this up his butt. And then Michael Beck is like, look, a lot of it is straight men who are married to women and have children, but they want some butt stuff, but they have to use it with, remote controls. What else did they say? Golf balls, shampoo bottles. I mean, what else? It was everything was going up there. I thought it was just like a cucumber, but it was everything, even a hairbrush by Michael Beck. You know what I mean? Lincoln the Golden says, speculating about anyone else's health is just wrong, period. Full stop. It's her business only. What she wants to share, she can decide. That's it. Yeah, and I feel like she has obviously chose to tell us a lot, because she could have just said, I'm going through a medical emergency and I'm having emergency surgery tomorrow. Or she could have said nothing and no one would have known anything. So I feel like she's putting it out there, which is obviously her decision how much she puts out too. Bondi says, I was amazed at how Jeff and Michael assume everyone does butt stuff. And let's be clear, I think it's a little more common than people want to chat about. Yeah, so y'all felt that way too. Mary McFadden says, I felt the same thing with what Crystal said, Sarah. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, Heather Chessman said, Kyle said today that she and other very close girlfriends are taking shifts, staying overnight with her, which is nice, at the hospital. And I don't follow Kyle. I don't know where she said it, but yeah. Anyways, oh, wait, what? Krista, the more you know. When male cows are artificially, to breed. When male cows are artificially drained for breeding, they use an electrified probe in the anus. Oh, because cows like it in the butt too. Oh, how sweet. Oh, that's so cute. I mean, give a little cow a little. Oh, she went on an Amazon Live. I mean, so yeah, I don't know if you're that good of maybe someone asked about it on an Amazon Live. Lisa says, my girlfriend's husband found out that he had brain cancer on Valentine's Day 5 years ago and was dead 10 days later. Oh, that's awful. I'm sorry, Lisa. That's really sad. Oh, Dory says, we don't know, but brain metastasizing, when brain mets are very characteristic of melanoma. Okay. So I don't know. We don't know why it took 6 months. We don't know why it was already growing and they weren't looking at that. I don't really know. Oh, oh my God. Oh, now I'm gonna just think whenever I hear a cow being like, they instantly ejaculate. Speeds up the process, Krista says. Y'all know everything. Oh my gosh. Okay. Second hour was Michael Beck. Michael Beck is booed up also. He's got a new boyfriend and he is black also. So Jeff's is half black. Michael's, I'm assuming, is 100% black. I don't know. He didn't really say. He's always told us that he loves black men. And then, of course, Jameson. So very, very colorful. I'm sure Jeff is thrilled at the, what's the word? You know, the cultural, no, not cultural. The, whatever the word is. I can't even think. Krista, thanks to Krista, I'm thinking of a cow getting it up the ass and like spewing everywhere. Okay, they do this test on Jameson if he's overly stressed. I think Jameson is probably the most mentally stable, normal, emotionally diversity. Thank you. That's the word, diversity. Person in that whole group. I feel like he's in touch with his feelings. When he's upset about something, he says it. He doesn't let it spew or, brew over for days. He just says something calmly. I think sometimes he can be stressed. Obviously, any of us can. I think he does a great job. Like, I love that he took the day off. You know what I mean? Yeah. So one thing they talked about is Crystal got paid. We don't know how much, but I don't know, 5 to 10,000, not, 5 to 10, it sounds like 5 to 10,000 for her house being used for a commercial. So they called it a location fee. So when our family did the HEB commercial years ago, like 2014, they obviously paid all 7 of us and they paid me a location fee. But when I tell you, they take over your whole house, they really do. They moved furniture. They took a couch from downstairs and put it upstairs. They brought in stuff. They made our bathroom look, they brought in this organizational thing. They made our entire garage into the craft services, all the food, the breakfast, the lunch, the snacks, the drinks. Um, all the marketing and advertising people they moved all of our furniture in the living room downstairs, and they had everyone was sitting in a chair with a computer, like watching every camera. Then obviously we were filming upstairs. We filmed a little bit on the stairs, but we were filming in the game room, and then some in the bedroom with my kids and some in the bathroom with my kids, some in the car coming into the car. Like they used my car, like showed my car, getting groceries out of my car. But yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I cannot remember what that fee was. I think it was less than 1,000, maybe around 1,000. But I remember they had police. We had hair and makeup in a trailer outside our cul-de-sac. So they had hair and makeup at like 6 in the morning that we had to do. But they went to every neighbor and put a notice on their door and said, and I remember the date because it was my mom and dad's wedding anniversary. I do remember that. And my dad had obviously already passed away. Well, it was 10 years since he had, because I think that commercial was in 2014. Anyways, and he passed away in 2004. But it was April 28th, and I remember that was the date that we were filming the commercial, and they went and knocked on all the doors of the neighbors and said, "Hey, just so you know, we're going to be filming a commercial. We'll have cars and everything, and if there's any issues, here's the police officer's name and number." It was crazy. It was a lot of work. So I don't think Crystal and her husband Rob need the money for this. So, I don't think $5,000 or $10,000 is a lot of money. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why she would want it. But she's like, if they asked me again, I would do it again. I'm like, but why? Like, is it just easy money? Like, I don't know. Oh, I love that. Ryan said, same here. They filmed a commercial at the house I grew up in. They set up everything, makeup stations, craft services, lighting all over the place. It took the whole day to get all the acting shots. Yeah, we did a 30-second commercial. Our whole family was this 30-second HEB commercial. We started at like 6:30 in the morning with hair and makeup. And I think they left at like 6 p.m. at night. And like the director was so cool. He stayed in the backyard and had a beer with my husband. Yeah, he was really cool. It was really fun. They were so nice. Anyways, oh gosh, Yvonne Gal. When I was in college, I saw an x-ray of a mayonnaise jar from an inmate that had to surgically have it removed. The x-ray tech took it to glass. I mean, if anyone wants to share a fun x-ray with me, DM me, Sarah from Texas Podcast. I'm not opposed to looking at it. You know what I mean? I don't, let me make sure. I shouldn't have even said that shit. Jet says, can you post the commercial and show us? I think my kids would be okay with it because it's 11 years ago almost. We'll see. Anyways, hopefully it was long enough ago that they won't mind. Who knows? Okay. Another question. Lots of butt talk commercial again. Michael, we learned that he put his roommate's hairbrush up his butt for the first time at 20 years old. I do have issues. I don't have issues with Jameson and Brandon at all. I think whatever works for them is working for them. But I do give Michael Beck a little bit of credit with this, that this is Jameson's first and only relationship. He's admitted that. He's like 42 years old. They're only spending 2 days a week together. They spend one weekday and then I think one weekend together. So if they do buy a house or a condo together, whatever, if they buy or rent an apartment, whatever they're doing, I think going from that to 24/7 is a lot. I don't care if you add another bedroom. I think it's a lot. You know what I mean? Whoa, wait, Tiffany, are you an x-ray tech? Like, wait a minute, what? I need these x-rays. Debbie says, I try not to judge, but I wonder why anyone would think it's a good idea to stick a mayonnaise jar up their ass. Okay, Tiffany Chump is like, I've seen Febreze cans, a hydro flask. What's a Tapatio bottle? Tapatio? Oh, the glass, okay, and a pink dildo. All men, I'm assuming, right? I don't know. See, Jet says 2 days a week is plenty, but if you're going to live together, you're going to instantly go to 24/7. I mean, the brushing the teeth. How do you eat breakfast at 7 in the morning? Do you eat breakfast at 9:30? Like, do you clean up after yourself? Are all the dishes left out overnight? Like, do you fold your laundry immediately? I mean, all that stuff that you learn about someone when they I didn't know that. Tiffany Stump says I work next to the ER, so we see a lot. Yes, all men. So is it true when there's something good, everyone goes and sees the x-rays? Like, I'm dying. Okay. Question. Towards the end of the second hour, Michael Beck, well, he doesn't share. Jeff brings up, hey, Michael Beck, did you take it upon yourself to go to another site visit for Resorts World? And he's like, yeah. So am I wrong? Or is this like Jeff is totally giving him an out on this? I feel like this is worse than what he alleges Jenny Poulos did and sort of ended their friendship over. I know he says that Jenny, they had a up and down relationship for sure. But basically, Michael Beck took Cynthia to Las Vegas for her birthday. He also invited Crystal Minkoff. He also invited Jeff. At least if Jeff would have went, I feel like it would have legitimately been, another site visit. I feel like he didn't need this other free vacation, which he ended up treating Cynthia for her birthday. I just kind of wondered why Jeff was okay with that. Like, did any of that feel very similar to the Jenny Poulos thing? So the Jenny Poulos, one of the things, and I might be having my facts wrong, so y'all correct me. I'm flipping out. Jeannie Shaw was one of their clients. They become very close with their clients. Even, Jeff does, but also Jenny Poulos at the time. So from what I remember, Jeannie Shaw offered her vacation home to Jenny Poulos and her husband, Jonathan, for their honeymoon. Just offered it to them, almost as if maybe a gift. And Jenny, I think, either took it or was going to take it. I don't even know if she got a chance to take it or if Jeff heard about it and put but Jeff was basically like, look, don't take advantage of my clients. Like, they are not your friends. They are my clients, and don't whatever. My thoughts are on that is if they offered it to Jenny, then they feel like they're friends also. I just felt like Michael Beck going on a second site visit, which basically sounded like a free vacation that had nothing to do with, checking out the Resorts World for Chumpcon, and then taking Cynthia with him. I felt like if it would have been him and Jeff or him and Shane or him and Liz Roman, his business manager, to legitimately look at other stuff, but I don't know what all they need to look at. Like, I don't know. I thought it was very interesting. The wife of the Jeannie Shaw is the guy from Styx, his wife. And they're still friends. They moved to Nashville, but they've remained friends and what have you. So I don't know. I just thought it was very interesting. Clearly I have my own experience with Jeff, blasting me for asking Margaret Joseph's who else was it? Chaz Jean had 50 bags of products to give to the audience of my show. I mean, all these things, and he thought I was said on air that I was misrepresenting in saying that I used his name, which I absolutely didn't use my name. They knew me as Sarah from Texas. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting. No, I think it was free. I mean, I think y'all tell me. I only hear the show the way I hear it. That's why I like to run things by y'all, because just like with Crystal Minkoff, I don't know that the way she was talking about my best friends or Teddi Mellencamp's best friends and they're upset. Did she mean to say they're upset with Teddi that she didn't have this medical stuff checked out and she was kind of blowing it off for the last few weeks and they were talking about it? Jet says, well, it depends. Did Michael's trip come out of the event budget? No, I feel like Resorts World kind of hosted him and Cynthia. But is Cynthia even part? Do we even have the list who recorded or wrote down the names, or who has seen it on Reddit? I'm sure it's listed on Reddit somewhere. By the way, I'm sure those people on Reddit could do a much better job of a Jeff Lewis thing. Yeah, it sounded like a freebie trip to me, Bridget Goggins says. Yeah. And Jeff at first was kind of like dogging him for it. And at the end of the day, then Jeff was like, oh, I would have come too. And I'm like, you wouldn't have. Jeff doesn't really like much free stuff. I don't feel like he would have taken 2 trips. You know what I mean? Dory says Jeff still needs Michael Beck. He was pretty done with Jenny. Well, I would say he needed Jenny as far as a season 11 going through, because they've made it very clear. Jenny said she wasn't coming back, and Bravo made it very clear. Without Jenny coming back, without you being with Gage, there was no season 11. So in essence, and even Real Housewives of Miami, his friend, blonde, Dallas, whatever her name is. She pretty much said, like on one of the first episodes of Brandy and Julie's Jeff Lewis Live after show, that Jenny was the reason that there was no season 11. So she was very mad at Jenny for that, and pretty much blamed it on Jenny for there not being a season 11. Michelle C says Michael has a relationship with Resorts World. Last 2 episodes of Southern Hospitality were filmed there. Again, that doesn't make it any better for me, because that to me sounds like, okay, he's also done stuff, but also in the Jenny Poulos of it all, she also worked with Jeannie Shaw. You know what I mean? So obviously Jeannie Shaw felt she was close enough with Jenny Poulos to offer this house. I think it was a Puerto Vallarta, something like that, condo for their honeymoon. And then Jeff felt like, oh, she shouldn't cross that boundary. I don't know. It's interesting. Jet says Jeff is very arbitrary about who he gets mad at for taking advantage. Usually there's another underlying issue there first, then the freebie thing suddenly becomes the issue that implodes it. Yeah, so anyways, I like Jenny too. Leah Black, yes, that's what I was thinking about. Lisa says, I can't believe you don't remember that Jenny did go on her honeymoon vacation. That's why Jeff was an asshole about it. But did she and Jonathan use the condo? I just don't really remember. I watched all of Flipping Out May of 2022. So that's a long time ago. And I don't even remember that part of it. First thing with, Andrew Freund. Christina says, I hope this Las Vegas endeavor doesn't end up like the first Vegas thing with Andrew Freud. What did he do in Vegas? I don't really remember. I know, is that where he felt like he was FaceTiming a guy that Shane was into? I felt like there was a couple things with Andrew Freud. I don't remember either, though. Michael worked with Resorts World before making Chumpcon. I don't know. I'm just saying. It sounds like Jeff was very much implying nothing about his relationship existing, nothing about his prior relationship with Resorts World. He was very much saying you might have, business-wise, you might have played this as a, and not that a lot of people don't do this. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people do this. How do you explain it? If somebody goes to New York on their company to visit a client and their wife comes with them, the wife pays her own flight, but she might stay in the same hotel that the husband's company is paying for. So at the end of the day, does that make sense? I mean, it made it sound like Jeff said that Michael Beck was using this and saying this was an opportunity to look at the venue again. And it wasn't actually that. It was a vacation trip with Cynthia for her birthday. You know what I mean? Very interesting. I think it's different. Deja Monet says, I think it's different because Michael's connection is independent from Jeff's business, and Jeff probably used Michael's connection with them to host Chumpcon. Well, Jeff brought it up, so he definitely didn't make it seem as if it was anything. The point of it seemed that he was making it as if it was a venue, a site tour, a second one that he didn't exactly need. Yeah. Jet says maybe Michael's writing it off as a business expense then. But it sounded like the hotel hosted him, but it ended up, as if he was checking out the resort for Chumpcon, but it had nothing to do with that. It was actually Cynthia's, birthday party. Anyways, just some thoughts. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining live. It is way more fun to get comfortable in comments. If you're listening as a replay, make sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up. If you're over there on TikTok, thank you for hitting the thumbs up button. Not many of y'all did. Please tap the screen for the likes. It gets people to looking at the video. Although it usually does it for me, and maybe it's the sticker I have up. And then over on Instagram, I will see you tomorrow, same place, same time. Don't forget I think on Sunday, I'm going to release a podcast. Someone is coming on to talk GLP-1s. They're going to talk hormone replacement therapy. They're going to talk fitness and answer any and all of your gastrointestinal issues. So send those emails or those questions to AskSarahFromTexas@gmail.com, and I will read them with her on whenever I release that podcast, I think on Sunday afternoon. Okay, I will see you then tomorrow. Bye, y'all. Bye, Chumpets. Bye, Instagram.